Hello everyone. I am about to do something really fun and exciting, so I thought that I would go live and just share with you the joy that I'm about to experience. So I do a monthly watercolor lesson within my painting membership called Michelle's Inner Circle. So in the Inner Circle, we primarily paint with acrylic, but once a month, we play with watercolor, and I've been teaching within the membership for the last year and a half different watercolor techniques and different how to kind of explore and enjoy watercolor. So this is a watercolor set that I have in the tubes that I bought last year when I was doing a commission, and it's great to use it out of the tube, but the problem is if you put it on a palette, let's say like this, you can re-wet it, of course, and reuse the paint after it dries, but it's very hard to remember what colors that you have, especially because watercolor is so concentrated that it dries very dark. So it's hard to tell a black from a green from a blue. So it's really important to do something like this. So I thought that I would share with you my little process, since I'm going to do this once, and then this is going to last me for years. So I had two watercolor sets. I'm using Daniel Smith tube watercolors, but it doesn't matter which brand you're using. Any tube watercolor, Winsor & Newton, Liquitex, Grumbacher, any Blick, any brand of watercolor you're using, you can do this for yourself. So I bought this little pan, and honestly, it's probably about $17 or so at Blick, but I bought it on a website called Temu, T-E-M-U, for like $2. So I just wanted to share that with you really quickly. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be filling each of these little pans with a different watercolor, and then I can use this pan over and over and over again and just keep refilling it when it runs out. But I have my own custom colors. So I kind of lined these up according to the rainbow, or according to somewhat similar to a color wheel, but in a way that you like. I first arranged it. I also drew out this little index card because what I want to do is create a little roadmap for myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, now that I have my colors lined up, 7 and 7, I'm going to write down the name. So here I'm going to write down the name of this is called Moon Glow. So I'm going to write Moon Glow. And then I'm going to squirt it in. Moon Glow is going to go here. So Moon Glow is going to be here. And I'm going to fill up this little tube, this little box. You can see how it's already pouring right out of this little tube. So I'm going to squirt it in here pretty generously. See, I even hate to waste that little bit in the cap, but nothing you can do about it. Let me get a paper towel. Okay, so there's paint number 1. And then on the next one here, I'm just reading off the bottle. This is called Imperial Purple. And then what I can do is also put a little tiny watercolor swatch within this little card so that I also have a color reference of what it looks like when it's slightly, diluted. So I'm going to try not to squeeze the tube before it gets in here, and then squeeze it in there and fill up that little box. How cute is that? Okay, so that's Imperial Purple. Next we have, I don't know how to pronounce this, quinacridone, Quinacridone. I barely fit. Magenta. Now, if these don't all fit on this card, I can always redo it on a piece of watercolor paper, but at least I have it recorded so I know exactly what color I used, because like I said, once it comes out of this little tube, it's very hard to tell what color it is when they get really, because they're so dark. But look at those beautiful colors. And like I mentioned earlier, this little container here, this is going to last me for years, because you just, especially I don't watercolor too large. And when I take this little thing traveling with me, I will be just using small amounts each time. So this is the same one. This is the same word. Whoops. Quinacridone. This is called Rose. Whoops. Okay, and each time I write it down, I just squirt it in the little box. Oh, that's gonna be beautiful. Okay, the next color is Opera Pink. This little container too is going to be so inspiring to paint. I can't wait. So in my membership, Michelle's Inner Circle, our watercolor class is called Watercolor Wednesday. And on that Wednesday, we've done small and large watercolors. This is called PY, God, my eyes, RROL Scarlet. Beautiful. And then the last one for this row is going to be Aussie Red Gold. Okay. Okay, now the next row, and so then these two are not going to fit, but I'm going to just buy two little boxes that I can buy. They sell these individually or in small little containers of maybe like 10. So I could probably even put them down the center if I wanted to add some more colors in here. So this is Phthalo Blue, PHTHALO, okay, Phthalo Blue, Cascade Green, and this one is Undersea Green. That one I can see myself using a lot of, so I'm going to give myself a nice big container of that. Let me just tap this down a little bit. Okay, so then the next one is Green Appetit. A-P-A-T-I-T-E. Genuine. Okay. Okay, getting down to the nitty gritty here, we've got Hansa Yellow Light. Oh, that's beautiful. So bright yellow. And we've got Nickel Azo Yellow. Nickel Azo Yellow. And lastly, we've got New Gamboge. I'm probably mispronouncing these, but we'll just go with it. Gamboge. These are some unique color names. All right, let's get the last one in here. All right, so there's our little color tray. Ta-da! Okay, so now what we're gonna do, now that we have all the colors in there, let me scooch the paints out of the way. Like I said, these I'm gonna add, I'm gonna get some new little boxes to put those in there. Now I'm gonna take a little bit of a watercolor. I'm gonna get a watercolor brush, or a little brush, and I need some clean water. Where's my little water sprayer? Oh, here it is. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm just going to take a little tiny bit of each of these colors and make a little color swatch. So I'm going to get a little tiny bit of this color. This is the Moon Glow, and then just color it on here. Just give it a little. So you can see it's kind of a little bit of a purpley color. So that's Moon Glow. Rinse out my brush. Let me put this over here. Next color is the Imperial Purple. And you want to get a tiny bit of water so that you can kind of see the color and its how it gets transparent. So I'm going to just get a little. And we want to make sure we rinse out our brush between each color so that we don't contaminate it and we get a good true representation of what we're trying to do here. So this is the magenta. So I want to get just a nice little, see what it looks like in the different concentrations. And the next one is the rose. Much more vibrant than the magenta. Beautiful. Opera Pink. Okay, lovely. Scarlet. Scarlet is a much more orangey red. So So I want a darker representation and also a watered down. So I'm going to just water that side down a little bit. Look at how cute that's looking. Okay, and then the last one on this row is the Aussie Red Gold. Looks kind of like a yellow ochre to me. Oh yeah, beautiful. Okay, so then we're gonna just, so that we can keep, I'm gonna go dark to light on this side also. I'm gonna rinse off my brush really well. And now we're gonna go with a phthalo blue. Oh, beautiful. And the Cascade Green. So this is making a little watercolor swatch so that you know what's in your watercolor tray. Next one is Undersea Green. Green Appetit. Very similar to the other one. This one's got a little more yellow in it, which you can see as you thin it down with water. Next is the Hansa Yellow Light. Nickel Azo Yellow. And last is the New Gamboge. It's like a beautiful golden orange. Okay, so that's all it takes. See, this took me quite a while. It's a little fun exercise, but getting your color card down is super important for knowing which colors you're using and having a simple little roadmap to using all these watercolors that you otherwise would have to squeeze out of the tube each time and waste it on a little palette. So make yourself a little watercolor travel set, and then you can take that with you wherever you go. All right, well, thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope this helps you to think about making your own little travel watercolor set.